Hi, everyone. My name is Smriti P. I am a mentor with Magic, and I'm really, really excited to be here today to interview our mentee mentor pair of Adhidha and Sia. So, first off, congratulations to you both. Just attended the final presentations, and it was such a pleasure to learn about your project and hear about your experience, Adhidha. Let's start off with a couple introductions. Let's do Adhidha first.
Hi, so my name is Adhidha, and I'm a ninth grader at Irvington High School in Fremont, California. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to be interviewed by you.
Thank you, and Sia.
Hi, I'm Sia. I'm a third year computer science major at UC San Diego, and I previously mentored and interned with Magic.
Thank you, Sia. Adita, will you give us maybe like a couple sentence summary of what your project was?
Yeah, so my project was me creating an app on using the coding language Python on Kiwi. It just asks you for your stress level and what your reading preferred reading genre is, and it just gives you a book to read because I've learned that reading books reduces your stress levels.
Okay, you started touching upon it, but I was gonna ask what your inspiration was for this app.
Yeah. So my inspiration was obviously I actually love reading books and I've just started high school and I'm like kind of stressed already, so I just thought maybe there was a way to like help me reduce my stress through my passion.
A good escape, yeah. And we talked about this a little bit in the presentations, but it is a really interesting thing. How do you match up the stress level of a book? How do you get this database of books alongside stress levels? Is that something you based on, talking to friends? Did you do some research online?
So how I did was oh, so you're asking how I like connected the stress level to the
Yeah, yeah.
so for people who had like a low stress level, I gave them more books that had more of like drama, like a crazier plot. But for people who had high stress levels, like leaning towards the higher side, I like give them like an easygoing book
Mm,
that was like, like a good read.
that makes a lot of sense. So I noticed as during your presentation, you talked a lot about these edge cases, like when you actually go in to enter your name or your genre or your stress level, you have all these restrictions on it can only be an integer and it can only be one of these genres. What made you think about those? Did you run into issues where you were typing in the wrong thing and it messed up stuff or
Um, yeah, I ran into it when I was doing my app. It was finally figured out a way. Like I kind of just like took a piece of paper, brainstormed what I wanted to do, and I just put it in like the place where I code. And if it didn't work out, I was like, I actually asked myself, why doesn't this work out? And like, I just tried to problem solve from there, and I definitely did face those issues.
Nice. Nice. That's a good way to be a user of your own thing and then figure out what's working and what's breaking. Sia, so do you have any background kind of in this space creating Python apps? What was it like to work with Adida on this?
So I had some experience with Python coming into it, but Kiwi was honestly something that neither of us had ever used before. So we kind of watched tutorials together, learned that together. And it was amazing, this experience working with Adida. She's really passionate, very hardworking, and a fast learner. So I definitely learned a lot from her.
That's so good to hear. And Adida, what was your experience learning kind of Kiwi and Python? What were the challenges? What was really enjoyable?
Yeah, so I felt like coding was really enjoyable, and obviously I mentioned my presentation installing Kiwi was really hard. Like it wasn't. We just had to problem solve again. Yeah.
Mhm. I like that. You just had to problem solve. That's awesome. So you also shared some of the kind of mocks and your initial ideas that you had sketched out, and then the app that you currently have, both of which I think are very lovely. So you mentioned that it didn't go exactly as you were planning, but it still seems to be a really wonderful UI. I'm wondering if there is anything you want to continue and extend on, either to get to that original some of the other features that you were thinking of, or to maybe you've just changed your mind and you're like, I like this path. I'm going to add something more along those lines.
So I definitely want to go back to my original design and see what I can do to meet those requirements. Also, I think someone asked me a question like if I like picked out the books or if I like took the books from the internet. one of my future plans is to actually like try to take the books from the internet. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, that would be super cool. It would just, I guess you'd be able to expand your database of books a lot faster. Awesome, awesome. So, a couple final questions for each of you. So, Sia, as you were going through this mentorship process, is there anything that you learned about mentoring and maybe about magic that you're hoping to take with you to your next mentorship?
I think I would say that I learned a lot about like just being prepared, finding resources before meetings, and just kind of generally making sure that you know the topics very well before you go into the meeting with your mentee. And I think I would definitely take this experience into my next mentorship because it was really fun mentoring on a technology I had never used before.
Yeah, both exciting and like a little daunting sometimes, right? Like to be learning
Yeah,
alongside,
no,
but
for sure.
yeah, I feel like it provides a lot of value for each of you as you see each other, how you're learning, how you're like what to do when you hit those roadblocks. So it seems like it was a really valuable experience for you both. Adida, what about you for now? You're congratulations, you're also an alum now. You've graduated and you've kind of completed this session. Do you have any advice for new mentees coming into magic on how they should approach their project or how to face these challenges that might come up?
yeah. So my number one thing is that not everything you think isn't gonna come out the way you think. Sometimes you might have something in the beginning, and then you're gonna end up with a completely different project just because you know, oh, that didn't work out. I need to do something else. And I feel like a lot of on the spot thinking is gonna happen throughout your journey. So I feel like, yeah, and that's basically it. And just really have fun with what you're doing. It's really fun process.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I think that flexibility, I think these things also apply just generally in life as things come our way and in our plans and things like that change. So thank you both and congratulations again. It was wonderful to interview you both and looking forward to see what you each do in the future.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Smriti.
thank you so much.